Snobs podcast.
Welcome to the Snobs podcast, everybody. It is Tuesday night, and I hope you feel all right. I am Mick Manhattan, your host, joined as always by producer Paul. What's going on, man?
Not much. Another beautiful day. We actually had a great weather day today, so I was loving being outside a little bit because it was like 74, 75. So
yeah, it was beautiful outside. We didn't get it that warm, but I think we got up to maybe like 50. Mm-hmm. But comparatively to the earlier in January, not bad.
Right.
Not bad at all. So man, I thought we would get started. We got a disastrous episode for everybody today. We're going to be talking some disaster movies. We're going to talk about like some of our theories on disaster movies and how we feel about them and stuff like that. And we're going to share our top 5 worst disaster movies. I thought I'd change it up a little bit. We're going with the bests. Thought I'd go with the worst for right now. But I wanted to ask a few questions. Okay, so we got a bunch of news coming out. Movie news
Right.
Coming out that honestly getting into it more and more. Like I want to get your opinion on some of this. Okay, so first and foremost, I don't know why I went down this rabbit hole. I think it was to avoid the news. I was like, I'm gonna jump down like I did with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I am in a full deep dive into the Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds case. Have you heard anything about this?
I've seen clickbait about it, and I just haven't had the time to click it or see, I guess, any of the facts about anything. So I'm not, 100%. But with the clickbait, I can assume kind of what allegedly.
So I'm going to tell you all right now. I went on a deep dive. There's a website and everything. I'll get into it. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Tell you, Paul. It's bonkers.
Oh,
so remember the movie It Ends With Us?
Yes.
Well, Justin Baldoni, who starred in that movie with Blake Lively as the abusive boyfriend, he was also the director, and he is a very big. He has always been like sort of a big proponent for speaking out against domestic violence and abuse and things like that. Very big proponent for it. So when he would like fell in love with this book that an author named Colleen Hoover wrote. So he went to her, they became friends. He bought the rights to make the movie. He went to make the movie. Of course there's some turmoil through it because, it was in between the writer's strike and the actor strike and everything. But the real turmoil is the fact that Blake Lively got hired on. I don't know who needs to hear what's happening with this, but you need to go see it. They came out, supposedly Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively completely took over this movie. And like to a point where they were just like pressuring this guy, and just driving everyone nuts, right? People couldn't stand him. I guess the writer and the rest of the cast like teamed up with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. This poor dude had to watch the premiere of his movie with his family after everyone else watched the movie because they wouldn't let him in to the premiere while she was there, or in Ryan Reynolds, whatever. She accused him of sexual harassment, which he dispelled. First off, she accused him of sexual harassment, and he didn't say shit. He just like kept to himself. Throughout the whole process, he was completely ostracized from the rest of the cast and crew, from the rest of the cast and such. She turned this movie about domestic violence and surviving domestic violence, which is a very important thing. I think we both know. Yes. And she turned it into like this sort of like this Taylor Swift-esque. It's about the flowers and getting with your girlies and getting your drinks and stuff like this. She promoted her alcohol company with the movie about domestic violence. She didn't. I mean, maybe after she got criticized, but like at first, she didn't say anything about domestic violence for that message. None of them did. It was the director who got ostracized was doing his own thing. Who would like every time they asked about, well, why aren't you with them or doing it? He went right in and he was like, oh no, they're great, they're doing their thing. I want to talk about the domestic violence aspect of this. There's women that need help. There's other, and like always took it to that realm. Well, this whole thing, like, they went to, I think it was either the Times or the Post or something like that. I forget which newspaper it was, and put out this whole article against him and all of these things he did to her. And I didn't do their homework, because this dude put up a lawsuit for $400 million. And when I say he has receipts, and he hasn't even dropped everything, he has every conversation they had. Every time she said, well, he said this, he gave up the actual conversation or the videos or this, that, or the other thing to say, nope, this is how it went. Exactly like I said from the beginning. Like, when he asked about her weight, she played that off like it was sexual harassment, but he was like, I have a bad back. She had just had a baby. He was like, you know, how much do you weigh? So I can do this for that. He asked her, all this shit. They're still not letting go. This is going to court, dude. And you know what? Everybody has their own stupid reality TVs. This is my reality TV. This shit's my actual court is my reality TV, because I hate reality TV shows. They're the worst. And I deep dove, and I hope that guy gets everything.
Yeah, he deserves it. Especially if he's absolutely not guilty of anything, it sounds like, then absolutely. And it kind of disappoints me that she's doing that if she knows she's essentially lying.
Well, everybody says that she's like, from everything, like she used Taylor Swift and Ryan against him. She's like, I'm Khaleesi with my dragons, and like her big star friends, like, because Taylor's the best friend, and like Taylor Swift showed up, and like, I don't know if he pressured him or like she was like siding with Blake at this thing that this guy was at, where it was basically take over his movie. Like, the whole thing is just like, the website is worth it. And if you don't want to go and read everything, then, and you just want to listen, go listen to some of these TikTokers that you talk about that, or Instagram Reel, or whatever the hell you're on. They're all doing it. They'll all talk about it. And then you can just fall into like a 35-part 1-minute podcast video where they talk about this and you learn the whole story and all this shit. That's the best. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't care about it. With, you know, if we're living in a disaster movie right now, so I'm telling you right now, this is my fucking tea. This is where I get.
That's fair.
So, with that being said, that's what I've been doing. What have you?
Hell yeah.
What have you been watching?
I mean, you know, I've been watching Traders, the UK version, because they just started
fucking reality TV. What I tell you,
it's so good though, because it's so dramatic. It's just, I don't know, it's a good way to escape. Outside of reality TV, I got into Severance really hard, really.
How
bad.
is that? I'm getting into it. I wanted to finish Billions.
I've been enjoying it. I found someone TikTok, but I don't have TikTok, so it's just Instagram Reels. But I found someone that goes through, so almost, I want not quite shot for shot, but a majority of them will show the different cameras they use and the lenses they use, forward shots. So I've been kind of doing that hand in hand with the episodes, and just been like loving it, you know, being able to kind of learn the differences of, okay, why'd they use this instead of this? And oh, you use this for this pop and not this. And when you want to, you know, so it's kind of been a fun learning experience. And Severance is just so well done. I'm amazed by all the actors.
A lot of people don't give Ben Stiller his credit as a director, but he is a fantastic director.
I was floored when I saw Ben Stiller, not to be a jerk, but I was like, holy shit, this is him. Like, okay, I see you.
Do you know what else he directed?
I feel like I know it, but I don't know it right now.
He directed a lot of things. So like he directed Tropic Thunder, stuff like that. So like you see him and all that stuff, but one that a lot of people seem to forget he directed was The Cable Guy.
That's right.
So like when I hear he did Severance, I'm like, he did The Cable Guy. That's a dark movie.
Yeah.
You know, and like dark in a way that's like, yeah, there's comedy, but it's not much of a comedy.
No.
it just has Jim Carrey in it, which to go on years later, I think was a fantastic dramatic actor.
Yes.
As well as a great comedy actor. But with all that, I want to get into something here.
Yes.
And not the disaster movies just yet. I want to get into something a little more personal.
Okay.
Dude, I saw Companion. Now, I'm going to do a full review on Friday. Paul comes, he's going to do one too. But I feel the need. I'm compelled. And I don't do this often, and most people know this in movies. I'm compelled to tell people to go see this in theaters. And that's a horror movie. I don't always tell everybody. I tell horror fans to go see a movie in horror movie in theaters, but not everybody. I think everyone might enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
It's that good. So far, this might be my favorite horror movie of the year.
Hell yeah.
Companion was excellent, and Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid were brilliant. They did a great job playing off each other.
Couldn't keep my eyes off them. I'm not gonna lie.
So good. And I mean, everybody did such a great job in the movie for sure. But those two, they had great chemistry. It was locked in perfectly. And that's so hard for, let's face facts. It's a small studio more than it is an independent house. But because it's A24 did this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like they're more, I would call them more of a small studio now than an independent house. But still, lower budgets than normal. Maybe it's $5-10 million, something like that. That's a low budget movie comparatively to movies today. And for this type of movie, which has sci-fi elements to it, and I don't want to give anything away. I'm not gonna, even in my review on Friday, I don't think I'm going to give anything away on that.
Right.
Because I really do think people should check it out. But I have a lot of praise, and I'll go bit by bit on what I really liked about it. But overall, besides the story just being interesting, it's worth it just for the visuals. The visuals are beautiful. They really do such a great job. They play with colors well. I'm not really like, I have no tie to this movie. A24 didn't send it to me to watch. There's nothing like, so like, it's not like I have anything but this. And this is, I'm going to go back and look at my A24 list. And like what not just the horror, but like everything. And I might rank them on Letterboxd.
That'd be fun. I need to do that too.
I have a strong feeling this is going to rank high.
Absolutely.
This is a really good movie, and it turns it on its head. That's the best part. Anyway, whatever. Let's talk about disaster movies. It's fine.
I will say, so that one, I only watched the first trailer. I know they released the second trailer about 3 weeks ago. I went out of my way to make sure I was looking at my phone and not paying attention at all. I will say, I think it paid off because I know Sam and Matt both watched that second trailer. So I guess if there are surprises in this, they weren't as surprised because they kind of thought things would happen that did happen. But me not like literally just zoning that out, I was just, I wouldn't say Sixth Sense surprised, but I was like, oh, okay, this is fucking awesome. Like, okay. But yeah, they did a great job. And it's great when you have two great actors that neither of them seem like they're trying to upstage each other. They're both fueling the other and just feeding off each other's energy. And you can really see it. And I think it's a testament to them and the director because he's able to get it out of them. And it shows on screen very well.
Sophie Thatcher right now, just in this and Heretic alone, she's great going back and forth. And I mean, with Hugh Grant, that's a strong actor to go back and forth with. So this movie, she had so much physicality that she had to add to it. And I'm not just talking about the running around stuff, but like to actually like when she's being carried, like in the way she has to like kind of maneuver her arms and stuff like that. Like it's so well done. Like they thought of it. And I really like that. The one person I will say absolutely understood the assignment of this movie was Jack Quaid. That guy walked in here and like he said the right thing. Like whoever wrote it did the dialogue's great. It lines up perfectly. Each thing gives a hint to what type of person this was. I would put this actually more in tone with Promising Young Woman. Than anything else. God, this is such a good movie. It really was. That was another really good one too. But yeah, I just couldn't get over. I cannot wait. I'm like trying not to review it, and I'm definitely not going to give my rating. No, yeah, it is so hard when you watch like a really good movie. I watched quite a few good ones. Oh my God. Just to kind of touch down on what I'll be reviewing this week. I watched You're Cordially Invited.
Yes.
You liked it?
I think I did.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I hope you can.
Yes,
I hope
did.
you can join in Friday if we can make that happen. If we can figure out, because I want to hear your take on it. Because I didn't dislike it. I just there were certain things about it which we get into, but there were some really comedy gold moments.
Now on the Ricky Stanicki scale, where'd it go for you? Like
above that, way above.
Okay, gotcha.
Ricky
I just want to make sure because you threw me off the bat.
The only saving grace about Ricky Stanicki is John Cena. He went all in on that role and it worked. But everything else in that movie sucks. Everything else in that movie, every other actor whom I don't dislike, I like Zac Efron. I like a lot of those people. They sucked. Like everyone in that movie, it just felt like went into that movie like, let's just let John do his thing. And that's not even John Cena's best performance of the year. I liked him in Jackpot.
Yes.
I thought he did such a great job in that. And like that's higher up there too in the Amazon movies as well. So might be interesting to go and rank those as well. I might do a streaming service or not Netflix. Not Netflix. Netflix is too much. Netflix is way too much for me right now.
I think they hurt you with that what's her name's movie. I almost said
Trigger Warning. Or no, Atlas was Amazon.
Oh, that was Amazon.
Yeah,
I thought it was Netflix.
Amazon had my 3 worst movies of the year last year. And they were all starring Jennifer Lopez. And I think she was in 5 movies, so maybe a few more past that. The other 2 are there. But God, she's just not good, man. I mean, whatever. Yeah, I know how you feel about Presence. We talked about that. Oh, yes. Before we move on, we finished off, everybody. Thank you so much for everybody watching, listening. It was a part of our Casters for a Cause charity fund-a-thon for wildfire relief. Everything went to the American Red Cross. Well, everything's going to the American Red Cross. I have it open this week. You guys, if I still have it up, which I don't think I do somewhere. There it is. I'll find it. And for people who can't see it, we raised $640 out of our $600 goal. We went all 10 hours. We had a really great time. Paul was there. Everybody just like joined in. It was just so much fun. So I want to say thank you for everybody who was a part of it, helped out, just kind of really got into it, made it their own and such. But I just thank you. Thank you to you, Paul, for joining in and having a good time with us, and everybody who donated and helped and shared it out. It just means the world to me. So yeah, we finished off strong. And out of all of our Casters for a Cause to date, we have raised a grand total of $7,712.
Heck yeah.
So, over 5 years. So that's not too bad. Not too shabby, I'd say.
That's awesome.
Thank you, man. Well, you're all part of it. Everybody, all of us. So it's all one snobrific family. But let's get into disaster movies, shall we?
Yes.
So I wrote down some questions, which I've been doing when I plan these episodes out. Like I was like, I'm gonna write down a question. Like I was like, I have a question about something. It's like, that'd be a good episode. Let's do that. And my questions for this was, first, why are disaster movies so appealing to audiences? Why do you think, Paul? Because I have inklings, but I want to know what you think.
I think, without sounding kind of morbid, I think we all have fantasies of almost being in situations like that and seeing how we would react. So I think it kind of adds heightened emotion and drama that we connect to because we try to find the character we think we fit best in these movies as. So then we get to see ourselves play out. Oh, we live, or oh, we're the smart one, or we're the dumb one, or things like that. And I think as far as science fiction and a movie that's realistic, that disaster movies do a good job of being right there on the edge where it's just enough where you're like, that probably won't happen, but to an extent, it probably could happen too. It's almost a 50-50, like we're one asteroid away from being Armageddon, things like that. So I think it definitely, the catastrophic imagery is what I think draws us to it, because we kind of like seeing disasters, just like passing a car wreck on the side of the road, you know, even though that's terrible and you don't want to see anyone dead, but you still look because you want to see what damage is done. So because I mean, I think a lot of, like, for me personally, like my favorite disaster movie, it's just because you see so many things torn up, which for me is 2012, because there's so many different images of different areas that are just torn up from floor up.
Yeah, you're all about the anarchy.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
That's your reality TV driven brain wanting the disasters. Me, I watch zombie movies or I watch tornado movies and all that. I'm like, nah, I want no part of it. I don't want to know who I would be because I don't want to think about who I'd have to be. And God, please just right this ship. I don't want to be in a disaster. Pick up your goddamn litter. Stop using so much plastic. I don't know what else, but like, I think that's why I was so like I am. I will say this. Like, there are things I will watch that kind of like they are just thrilling. Like, it's just a thrilling thing. Like when like the old nuclear explosions in the sea back in the day in the 50s when they do the nuclear tests. Like, I'll go, like, I don't go looking for them, but like I've seen them before, and when I watch them, I'm like, they're mesmerizing. And when they're replicated in movies, like in Godzilla and things like that, like Godzilla -1 did a really good job with it. It is. It's truly mesmerizing to watch and witness. And that's the extent for me. I never want to see it in real life. You know what I mean? So like, when people are so into disaster movies, I go and I'm like, thank God. Like 2012 for me was too much.
Okay.
I'm not against 2012. Like, it was a pretty bonkers movie. I mean, he was driving on the street as it's breaking. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So like, they really like they went a lot of places with that one, and it was very fantastical. It's not on my list.
Right.
It's not on my list because I don't think it's one of the worst. It just was a lot for me. I think because I'm not a disaster addict.
Gotcha.
I was like, this is too much disaster. Take it back. I don't want this much disaster. I at least like when they have land at the end.
I got you. So you're like, let me go back and just watch Deep Impact real quick and watch Elijah Wood, and we'll be okay.
Oh my God, they filmed that here in Virginia too.
Did they?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
on the it's the byway now, but it's you can still drive down it and such. You see where they filmed it, but my brother lives over by there.
Heck yeah.
I don't want. Yeah, like Don't Look Up was one, like where they just destroyed the earth and stuff. But like when I watched 2012, I'm like, I'm not on that boat.
100%. Well, I might be working on it, so maybe.
You think?
Just being honest, if we're being realistic here, let me be honest with you guys. I'd probably be the dude that's like, let me just, I got to tighten that. I'll be right back, boss, and just sneak on. And
that's fair.
That's it.
It's just waving to everybody as doors are closing. It's like, later. It's
like, I'm your bellhop, and take their bags, and they're like, oh, that's a nice service on this ship.
It's like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, the only ones who are allowed in this thing, and Paul. Just for the rest of time. If they don't have sex with you and eat you, they're not, which I assume at the end of the world is what happens.
Step.
Well, you can't eat Mark Zuckerberg. He's all skin and bones.
I'm not going to eat them. Unless it's like Jeffrey Dahmer style. So I'm like, I just don't want to be alone. Like,
oh my God.
Wait, is that why he did it? Just saying I'm lonely. That's how I always perceived him. Is that not how you perceived him?
Did he eat people so he wasn't alone? I don't know enough about Jeffrey Dahmer to know.
That's what I always thought.
Why did Jeffrey Dahmer eat people?
That's what in my mind, because he was always like abandoned. So I assumed he was eating people so they were always with him, so they couldn't leave him.
If doesn't make it right.
No.
But if that is the case, that's like the saddest serial killing of all time.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be his friend,
Mm-hmm.
but I wish somebody would. I wish like a knight would be Jeffrey Dahmer's friend and alleviate this eating thing. Why a knight? Because you can't bite through the armor. That's right. Keep the armor on, ladies and gentlemen. Always wrap it up.
Oh.
Why are you saying? Oh, I didn't. Married? No, I'm just kidding. No. We were married before. Anyway, I'm having some fun. I am like I'm so afraid of disaster movies. Well, it depends. Some of them I'm cool with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what really freaks me out? It's not really a disaster movie, but it kind of is. The beginning of Interstellar. I was like, this is the most realistic one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
yeah,
just depleted. Oh,
one I would hate that I didn't count as a disaster movie is Life. Like, what happens if they're messing with something, some embolism, and then they're like, oh, it should die on the Earth, and then you're like, oh, it just consumes everything and kills everything. Period.
I mean, that would be
a
disaster.
Sucks. Right. But I didn't count because, it's not technically.
I didn't really count Aliens. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what to count. What does it constitute a disaster? And actually, let's talk about that. I think that's one of the next questions. Mm-hmm. What constitutes a disaster movie? Do aliens attacking, or is that an alien invasion movie? Is something like a biological entity coming into effect? Is that a disaster movie, or is that like more of a contamination movie, or something like that to that effect?
Damn. So that's tough because you could set them aside and have them be the different genres, and those do exist. For me, I didn't quite do like when you hear my list. I didn't quite do it like that. I did it more on a catharsis aspect of worst movies. Where,
that's fine.
But I guess if you're trying to say that's tough because a disaster movie, I don't know, because it should be aliens too, because they destroy. Well, in most of the scenarios, they destroy.
I mean, Independence Day.
Yeah,
that's disaster. Like they're blowing stuff up. So what do you think? Like genre wise, okay, subgenre wise. Let's say disaster is a subgenre.
Yep.
Then you would just have to subgenre off of that. So like alien invasion, natural disasters.
Right.
So
chemical,
man-made,
like,
chemical.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like because you can count like nuclear war there, kaiju monsters, because those are sort of disaster movies.
Yeah.
Like the Godzilla's, Gamora stuff. So.
And you got Contagion, like you said too, like stuff like that, like actual pandemics, because those are disasters.
And how big does a disaster movie have to, like, how big does the disaster have to span to really, like, a city?
I'd say city. I think that's fair. At least a city.
City or bigger. Okay, I like that. Yeah, it's got to be like a main city.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we get like Akron is affected by kaiju, it's like, all right.
Right. Like you could have Dante's Peak. You couldn't have Dante's Peak in like the middle of nowhere and people give a shit. Like it had to be out there where it was.
Just not LA, because that's where they were filming Volcano. Remember they came out the same year? Dude, I saw Dante's Peak. I think I was on a date. I can't remember who I was with. I'm sorry if you remember, and I don't remember. My memory is terrible. As if you'd be listening to this. I honestly, I was on a date. I remember I went to the movies with her. She chose this. I think she chose it because it was Pierce Brosnan.
Of course.
We did not know what we were getting into. And it was just like, I don't think I worried about volcanoes as much as I did until after this movie.
Okay.
That grandma scene, I was like, wait, are volcanoes just everywhere?
Right.
I thought they were on islands and stuff. That was my level of knowing about volcanoes. Everything I learned came from Dante's Peak.
Gotcha. So that's why I don't like 2012. You hate that Woody Harrelson scene with that huge volcano just erupting and all that.
And him
I would be
talking
Woody
about it,
Harrelson
too.
in there. That'd be me, 100%.
Like,
I'd be standing. I'd be like, accept it.
that's the best place to be.
That's
Just
what
let
I'm
it
gonna
go. I told a friend of mine years ago after Deep Impact, I was like, I would go to the ocean.
Hmm?
I was like, yeah, maybe you can outrun it, but like if I can't, like if I'm in, because I'm whatever. I don't think I'm close enough. So that probably says something. So, but like if I couldn't get away from it, I'd rather go towards it and see it.
Right.
It's
100%.
gonna like that wall coming at you is gonna kill you the second it hits you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's gonna look cool, and you'll probably have a heart attack like right before. But yeah, it'll look.
you know what would be my fucking luck too? Is this thing is flying at me and like there's a whole bunch of people lined up on the beach or whatever, just like trying to get hit, like, but we're all like single file or whatever. And like mine has like a great white in it. Like my section, it's like I would trade like 5 people. I'd be like, you go over there. I just want to be hit by the wall. I don't want to be eaten by teeth.
That's fair.
Oh my god, that's the level of disaster I don't want.
That's fair.
Hands down.
Don't let me be a part of the zombie one though, you guys, because I'm gonna catch that zombie and I'm gonna take him to the nearest super Walmart and just let it ride. Just so you know.
Jesus, Paul, what's the matter with you?
I'm just saying. Front row seat, man. I'm gonna get a 5th of whiskey. I'll pop them open my trunk and just.
That's a terrible idea. You're making more zombies.
It's gonna happen regardless. We've seen enough zombie movies to know it doesn't stop with just one zombie. There's never been. We have one zombie.
If you find the one zombie which you just said, it could. You could end it right there. In fact, In fact, you could end it with that zombie and not hurt anyone in a Walmart. God, I'm so glad I didn't go to Walmart today.
Or you could let it ride.
Sorry, I'm never going to Walmart again. Paul has made it that I'm never going to go to Walmart again.
We don't live close enough together. You ain't got to worry about your super Walmarts. I wouldn't go up there. I do it down here.
I'm not going into any Walmart because you just gave everybody the idea. What's the matter with you? Nuts. Crazy. Who thinks of that? Who says, you know what we need? You know what? I'm not even going to ask that question. Let's just go to the next disaster movie.
I'm kind of curious. Let's hear it.
I was going to say, who thinks of something that depraved? And I just thought about everything. Paul.
You should just cut out clips
thought
of
about
incriminating myself.
No, I thought about who thinks of something that depraved. And immediately after watching the news for 8, 9, 10, whatever many days, throwing a zombie in a Walmart is less depraved than the news has been. Fair. So like, that's why I left it. I'm like, honestly, at this point, that's a Florida man thing. Like they would do that. Like that's, I'm like at this point, like whatever, just never going to Walmart again. Such a bad idea. Why would you do it? Like, oh my God, there's so many kids in Walmart. Oh, you're a horrible person. The more you know.
Now I feel bad. Now you're saying it like that.
The more I know. Oh. He's like, nah, scumbags.
But I'm not going to catch it. If it's a 28 days later zombie, I'm not going to catch it anyway. I'm fucked then. I smoke too much. I'm done. They say cardio in Zombieland, fucked. That's not happening. I need them slow. I need them like Dawn of the Dead and shit like that. I can speed walk. You know what I mean? Like, but I can't. I'm not.
You should make him chase you the whole time.
Can I run like Tom Cruise and just make it like arms up, just full blast?
First person he passes, he just stops. It's like Paul's still running in the TVs. Oh my god! I just thought of a really weird, like a sketch. It's not even like an idea. It's just like it's like, remember Shopping Spree, that TV show, whatever.
Yes. fucking used to love that
it's
show.
that, but there's zombies down every aisle.
Ooh.
Yeah, try and survive it. Like I feel like if demons needed a TV programmer, I'd be on point. I wouldn't love it. I'd have to bring you with me to give me these depraved ideas. You know, I have to add the game show element to your depraved ideas. Well, this is how you're going to get points. For every zombie you clear.
That'd be fun.
Don't kill them, though. We need them for the next contestants.
That's fair, too. So you just cut off a limb and keep them like Walking Dead style. You can't just kill them. You just got to take off an arm or something. So
it takes off 10%. They count as coupons.
Hell yeah. I like that. Huh.
Oh my God, I just created a TV show you would exclusively watch all the time.
Like the end of the world, I'll need to remember that because I need to use that. That's going to be like, I got this now. Yeah.
I'm so now I kind of mad I didn't put it in the script. I don't need another challenge in it, but it's just like it would have been a fun one. I might write it in just to film that scene.
Should do it.
And then
P Mart.
Like then I'm gonna have you be the guy as the contestant in it.
And I'm just gonna fail immediately. I'll be like, I got this, fuck these zombies, and just immediately get bit.
You trip over a box of cookies and they all just swarm up.
It's got to be something like I'm going down the aisle where I'm like, oh, you know, my girlfriend needs tampon. Like I'm trying to do something sweet for once, even though I'm a fucked up person. And then it's like, that's how I die.
I think it'd be funnier if like the guy who hosted the show just sprayed like Crisco or something, or like vegetable oil on the floor as you were running down and you slipped and fell. And the zombies just slip and fall.
They just release a zombie while he's explaining the rules, and I'm like, God damn it! Like I'm already bit.
Oh my God! Well, they definitely count under disaster movies because nothing lasts in a zombie movie, especially not Walmart.
That's fair. Warm Bodies, kind of, but not really. That's not a disaster movie. That's drama.
Yeah, but I think that fits also as zombies, which fit under, I would say, monsters for horror as well. So, like, there's multiple genres, but then you have the subs. I think we are on to something with the disasters, though. I like it. All right. What kind of natural disasters work in movies, and which disaster should there be more of? What do you think?
I think, obviously, earthquakes and tsunamis work really well. So do volcano eruptions, hurricanes, meteor strikes. I wrote down, because I thought you might ask, because I'm trying to sync up with you. For movies I think I would enjoy more of that I don't think they have enough of is heat waves. And I'm not saying this to be funny, but wildfires. And a few more pandemics and famine. Ooh.
I wouldn't mind seeing maybe not disaster movie wildfires, but something along the lines of watching more about the firefighters.
Okay.
Like, but I mean, like you can immerse the firefighters in this like epic, disaster setting, which they do anyway. But yeah, like because I always did kind of like those, like Firestorm. I enjoyed. I mean, I was a firefighter, so like I think the firefighters just like kind of shines for me.
Right.
But like I did always like that. There's a TV show I haven't watched that I'm like intrigued to check out, and it's based on reality where spinmates do go and join the fire department to fight wildfires, and that's how they spend their time. It's like a work program for them. And most of them are out there fighting these fires, and the other firefighters as well. I mean, thank you so much for everything you've done, and firefighters all over. Special place in my heart always. I would love to see more of those because you can get really dramatic with them as well.
Right. Well, I feel like you can tie in a lot, like heat waves, for instance. You can have all of a sudden there's a water shortage too, because everyone's trying to drink more water. All of a sudden everyone's AC's out, things like that. There's a lot you could play with on different aspects where, all right, our electrical grid can't even take the heat. So now we lose all power. Now we can't communicate with each other because there's nothing going, And
okay, so I see what you're kind of saying. So, like, does the heat have to play a factor, or is it more of like a power outage sort of?
I was saying more of the heat. So we'll say our atmosphere goes away, so the sun's rays are actually all coming in at 100%, and it's not filtered. and it knocks out, the power grid, or, maybe our livestock or things like that, to where, cars are melting, the tires melt to the concrete everywhere, and then you're stuck. What do you do?
It would be interesting. I mean, I would go north. I know it's getting warm up there, but I'd go north
Right.
as far and high as I can. Until it washes out and then just drowns me. But whatever. We'll figure it out. Polar bear.
You just go find a polar bear. That's what I was gonna say. At that point, you'd be like, "Well, all right, where's the polar bear? Let's get this done."
I never want to be eaten by a bear. And I watched that documentary. I never want to be eaten by a bear. It sounds bad.
If it had to be a bear, what kind of bear would you want to get mauled by if you had to?
Teddy bear, Teddy Ruxpin. I want the most adorable mauling of all time, where at the end we're just hugging and then we're listening to his tapes. That's it. I don't want. What kind of bear do I want to be mauled by? That's like it's like asking me what kind of bear I want to be mauled by.
I'm just curious.
I don't know. They're all bears. Like I don't want a weak one.
Right.
Then I'm there forever. But
right.
I don't want a strong one to mess with me either, like an irreverent. Remember, he kind of kept coming back, and
he was kind of he was a predator. Like
predator.
In all aspects.
I don't know if I want one. And I heard polar bears are horrible, dude. They'll mess you up.
Yeah.
I don't want to be eaten by. I resigned to Teddy Ruxpin. I don't want to go in the woods anymore. You've made me afraid of volcanoes, everything. I
don't want to
Walmart. You somehow made me afraid of Walmart.
Good.
Walmart and bears,
Martinez
dude.
Is scary. Yeah. While we're talking about it, Snuggles detergent has always terrified me.
The little that's a bear I can be mauled by. I'd be okay with it.
Terrified. I used to pee on the dirty laundry because it never made fucking sense to me that a goddamn bear
on the dirty laundry.
I would pee on dirty laundry as a kid because that bear, I didn't like that we used that detergent. That bear freaks me out. Why are you touching all our dirty clothes, man? Why are you happy about it? Why y'all fuck that? It doesn't make fucking any sense to me. I hate that bear. I go in stores still today. Okay.
I love it. I love that you hated that bear so much you pissed. So for anybody listening and needs the visual, I'm going to narrate this. Paul peed on dirty laundry. So this little itty bitty teddy bear, whom he assumed was just in everybody's laundry at all times, would have to sniff his piss. What Paul forgets is he's not in the dirty laundry. In the commercials, he's in the clean laundry. And
how convenient.
All of your brothers and sisters' clothes have Paulie piss on them.
I mark my territory.
I mean that story within itself is worth saying that. Like I just marked my territory.
It's a problem. You can ask Sam and Matt; they'll be like, "No, he turns it around every time we get more detergent, which is not fucking that."
I wish you didn't tell me that. I know
or I'll punch the bottle too.
I know what the tattoos are going to be for this year.
Not Snuggles a fucking bear. Absolutely not fucking
bear with a microphone and another Paul indicator, probably like a Suns Out, Guns Out shirt. I'm gonna be like, this is Paul.
Yeah.
Snuggie? You don't like Snuggie? He's so cute. He's
no.
If it's a he, I don't even know what it is.
Says everyone about the serial killer that killed him horrifically. Oh, he was nice. He was charming. He killed you.
I mean,
awful. He's bad for you.
It's a teddy bear. It's a teddy bear. I don't understand this. It's so funny though. All right. I can't talk about Snuggie anymore. Let's get into our top 5. No. Don't be sorry. I loved. No. We're talking about our top 5 countdown of worst disaster movies. But I want to assure you, Paul, especially anybody who's watching this as a clip, I'm not upset you told me that story. I'm so glad you shared it. Now I know your fear, and I won't use it against you.
That's fair.
At all. There will never be laundry detergent delivered to your home.
You're gonna bring like dress shields with that motherfucker to me and shit, like fucking mom.
This is. I might ask Sam if I can do that iron-on trick from Jackass, and it's just gonna be Snuggie on every shirt you own? Just looking at you going, I don't even know if that's the right one. I think it's the Pillsbury Doughboy that I'm quoting. I don't even
They
know.
sound similar. They sound too similar. It's kind of fucked up. Because he's trying to get in your head, make you think he's friendlier. He's not fucking friendlier. Pillsbury Doughboy is adorable.
He like grabs the thing. He's like, isn't he?
Right.
Like,
yeah. Because he just jizzed in all your fucking clothes.
The only bear that can wall me with jokes is Fozzie Bear.
Oh, Fozzie Bear. Fuck yeah.
Oh, Fozzie Bear. Every time you have a good conversation going, I'm just going,
can just imagine next time we're together, you're going to be like, haha, I pulled that prank on Paul. Then you're going to be like, now he smells like piss.
Why are my clothes wet?
You're going to be like, why are you not hydrated? This should not. Have you had asparagus all week? What happened?
Oh
just drinking C4s only? I'll be like, probably.
Oh my God, don't do that. And anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, go back and watch the full podcast because you'll find out. All right, number 5 on our lists. What you got for me? What's your number 5 worst disaster movie?
Geostorm sucked me. I couldn't stand Geostorm. They almost made it realistic enough where I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. But then they just made it dramatic and they tried to have a twist that didn't make sense. I don't know. It was bad. Did not care for it.
Nothing wrong with that. I get that. It didn't make my list, but it's up there. Into the Storm was one too. That was just kind of like, I don't know. But my number 5, I went with Moonfall.
You didn't like Moonfall?
No, that's terrible.
Okay.
And it annoys me because I liked the idea behind it. Mm-hmm. The idea that there's something in the moon and it's coming after us and we have to and it's causing havoc. Like I love that idea. Poorly executed.
Okay.
Just in my opinion, I just say poorly executed and it's got a good cast. I didn't mind the cast, but I just don't think it hit well. But yeah, that's my number 5. What's your number 4, sir?
It's another Gerard Butler movie. It's Greenland.
You like it, huh?
I thought it was a boring version of Deep Impact, but we're going to fucking Greenland. And I was like, this is fucking boring as shit. I don't know.
That's fair. Greenland is the hot topic now. So I guess they're onto something. They know something. Number 4 for me was Pompeii.
Okay.
So that's 2 in a row, I think, that have Game of Thrones people in them. But yeah, Pompeii, I just couldn't do it. Not for me. It didn't hit. What do you think of it?
No, I didn't think it was needed how they did it. I didn't need a side story for how that actually played out. Like they could have just had everyday people living, make a cool environment or this and that going everyday life. And then I didn't need this love story and all this extra shit. It's like, okay, cool. Thanks for.
And that. I wouldn't have minded the love story if the movie was on the level of Gladiator.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that epic type of movie, which I think if you're going to do a movie about Pompeii and how it ends, it's got to be that level.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting story to tell, but it just was not done well here. All right. So what is your number 3, sir?
Number 3 is Poseidon. So I went with a tidal wave movie. I just didn't care for it. I love the actors.
Have you seen the original?
The original was what was it? Something Poseidon.
Poseidon Adventure.
Thank you. That I actually enjoyed Poseidon Adventure, but I didn't enjoy just Poseidon. I don't know. It just didn't click with me.
I gonna be honest. I know I saw it. I saw it in theaters. I like Kurt Russell, so check it out. It's complete. I don't remember it. I mean, I remember the Poseidon Adventure, so I do remember the boat capsizing and some of the adventure, but it's not memorable like the original was for me, in my opinion.
Right.
So I definitely agree with you there, but it's not memorable at all, honestly. My number 3 is Don't Look Up. I talked about it earlier. Just the comet coming to hit Earth and everything's gone. It was that movie was terrible, but just to end it the way they did, I was just like, jeez, man. I was like, you're making volcanoes look good. So what's you number 2, sir?
Number 2, I put Crawl.
Interesting. So a flood hurricane type movie, huh?
Yeah. It was between that and Hurricane Heist that I also just didn't really care for as much, but
I
yeah,
don't know.
Crawl.
Hurricane.
It's where they decide to do a heist during a hurricane, so then it's under the cover of that, and it just it's Fast and Furious meets the tornado movie you were talking about earlier. Eye of the Storm.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's like those two combined, and you're like, what the fuck is this for? And
yeah, there are some that they just take them to weird place. Like the Twister ripoffs are the worst.
Yeah,
you know, and like Twister made tornado, like actual real tornadoes made tornadoes scary, but in movies for people who didn't grow up around those areas, that movie was what sunk tornadoes for you. Which comes to my next one. Okay. My number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 down. Do you think The Happening counts as a disaster movie?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm going with The Happening. The other one was Sharknado, the time travel one. I didn't even
time travel one. Yeah.
I was like, that's like probably the worst thing that's ever happened to tornadoes. But yeah, The Happening, if that can stay, is 1,000%. In fact, I would make it number 1, but this other one really, really got to me. But I'm glad you counted it because it deserves to be on this stupid list. The worst.
What about The Happening do you hate?
Everything.
Okay. Oh,
everything. Everything. I'm passionately saying that. It was. I might watch Flight Risk again with Mark Wahlberg, which is on the level of acting for him. Preview to Friday. I might watch that before I'd ever watch The Happening again. That was that. Hey Troy, what's going on, man? How you doing? And T-Jack says supply scare movies. You go to the store and there's no bread and milk and shit. I know. That happens all too often. Eggs right now. Flying off the shelf. I just want a sandwich. But yeah, I just
I got you. No, because The Happening for me, that's my, if I have a fever, I'm specific about sicknesses in certain movies. That's my go-to to put on because it puts me to sleep, because it's not a great movie. Like I'll knock out before he's done talking about the fucking bees and all that, and he's like hiding from the principal. I'm like, I have a fever. Then I'm out like a light.
I get that. Just every line he had in that movie. Would everybody just shut up for a second? I'm doing science. Like, what? Science cannot be explained. Or nature can't be explained by science. That was a line they had an actor pretending to be a scientist say. Nature can't be explained by science. What's it explained by? Fucking fiction? I like M. Night Shyamalan did no research for that movie. He literally came up with, like, you know who should be a bad guy in my next movie? The Wind.
Yeah.
God.
I think we got to do an episode just about M. Night, but I think, unfortunately, in my opinion, I think he got caught up in his own haze after The Sixth Sense, and he thought he was on a different caliber that I'm not saying he's not capable of, but I don't think he was ever able to accomplish consistently. But he thought all of this stuff would be gold and just started throwing shit out, and he's just consistently has gone downhill.
I would say yes to all of that, except that after The Sixth Sense, everybody was like, this dude is a filmmaking genius. And he is above average filmmaker. He's an auteur. I'll give him that. Genius? No, he never lived back up to it. In fact, I don't think Sixth Sense is his best movie by far. I think Unbreakable is one of his best movies. I do think Signs is a great movie. I think Signs, I think they got away with the twist ending in Unbreakable because it was very subtle, and you could see it throughout. Like, if you're especially a superhero fan, plus not enough people saw the movie. But then you get to Signs, and that has a twist ending as well. And he was like, I swear to God, I know the studios were forcing him to do twist endings. Like, this is your thing. You're the new Ron Sterling. And he got all into it, and it just didn't work.
Right.
He still does twists, and they've gotten better because they've gotten more subtle. He's not chasing Sixth Sense anymore, but I think Signs is his best twist, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because he peppered it in throughout. And like he did that with the Sixth Sense too. And he got us. I don't care what Dan says, even though Dan says he knew it. He got us. But I think Signs was a better twist all around.
Right.
And how it all sort of worked. But anyway, what's your number one?
I went with an alien film. I can't stand Battle Los Angeles to save my life. That is an atrocious alien movie or end of the world movie, whatever you want to put it under. It's bad.
I watched that at a Planet Fitness while I was on a treadmill. I watched the entire thing. I stood on that elliptical treadmill and stairs. So like I was in there for a while, but and the bike. So like I was in there for the whole movie. I did all my cardio that day. And I don't disagree. In fact, I forgot that existed. Like it was bad. But that is not my number one. My number one stars The Rock. It is San Andreas. It was almost Skyscraper, but I was like, San Andreas is way worse.
Yeah.
And in the end, he said it. He says it in the end, and it drives me nuts. And I'm going to finish off on this one. He actually says the words when they're asked, what do we do next? As soon as the female character goes, what are we going to do next? I'm like, first of all, this helicopter pilot, which nothing against helicopter pilots, far more advanced human beings than I am. But this helicopter pilot just looks at everybody and is like, we rebuild. It's like, who the hell's following you? Like, not because you're a helicopter pilot. That's not what I mean. But like, your family, you were all about saving your family. It's like, what are you about, man? Get out of here. Like, we rebuild. It's like, okay, president. It's only in California. Calm down. You're not even the governor.
You're not wrong.
So that really just like drove me nuts, man. But that is our top 5 countdown of our worst disaster movies. I think it's a pretty solid list. Go check it out. If you're watching this as a clip, you want to go back and watch the whole conversation because we get crazy. But it is time. We're going to mixed movie pick for this week. That's right. It's from 1953. I just want to make sure everybody saw that. From Here to Eternity. We're starting Romance Movie Month here at the Scene Snobs channel. Like we always sort of alternate. Like we'll do Black History, but which we've more moved to June and such. But so I wanted to do romance movies, something I haven't really done in a long time, and I'm super stoked for it. I watched From Here to Eternity the other night. I love this movie. It is truly fantastic. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a full classic film review. You know, that's where we talk about the movie, the legacy, things like that, behind the scenes and such. But you can go check that out on the Scene Snobs channel. It will be available for you. And of course, I am on Popcorn and Pints talking about James Bond all month. And this week, we're also doing classic film reviews on Moonraker from 1979 and For Your Eyes Only in 1981. I'm having a ball watching all those movies and more. Yeah, I'm just having a good time just kind of revisiting James Bond. It's been like a nice reprieve from work and everything else kind of like happening. So, although I keep finding myself being like, where are you, Britain? And where is the real 007? I feel like I want to meet him now. And he never comes. So who knows? No. But I do suggest, like, if anybody's a real big movie fan and you do like the James Bond movies, maybe a rewatch is fun. I did a full rewatch of Godzilla last year in all 40 films. And there are 40. You can argue all you want, but go back and listen to the 16-part event and you'll find the 40. I'm telling you. Have to argue that point. But I am having a good time with the James Bond movies. Have you seen them all?
I think I at least once. I'm pretty sure because my dad's pretty big on James Bond, so I'm pretty sure I've watched them all at least one time. Especially because there was a voodoo deal where they had a glitch, so it was every James Bond movie at the time up to Daniel Craig's last movie, and it was supposed to be like $120, but they had put the decimal point in the wrong spot, so it was like $1.20. And when I saw that, I just bought them all, so I got them all for $1.20. Sorry, voodoo, but they fixed it now. But yeah, I know I watched them all after I bought it like that. I was like, oh, all.
I'm 12 movies deep. I haven't seen them all. I saw a handful of them. Like I saw 2 of the Pierce Brosnan movies. I saw all 5 of the Daniel Craig because they were just newer. They're easy to go see. I saw like 3 of the Sean Connery. And here's the funny thing about the Roger Moore. I didn't think I saw any of them. Okay. But I'm watching them and I'm like, I watched this when I was a kid. This had to have been on TV. And it was like The Spider Shagged Me because the car with the submarine, Moonraker. Oh, Moonraker I had seen. Moonraker I had seen a while ago. And that was like the only one of those I saw. And that's like the worst one. And you're kind of like, oh, this isn't great. But like, I'm enjoying it. Roger Moore might be my favorite Bond now. So.
Interesting. See, and I need to rewatch him just to see if I still say Sean Connery. Because now I'm curious.
I was always that too. I was like, original, he's the best. And then I rewatched them all right in a row, and I'm like, man, Connery had some issues. Connery had some issues. And then like you watch Roger Moore, and you're like, he's still that same guy, but like I think more of what we know about James Bond and his character comes from Roger Moore as a lore than Sean Connery. I think we just remember Sean Connery because he's the first. It's like It's like why we remember Michael Keaton so fondly as Batman.
That makes sense. Okay.
So, I mean, I get it, but although Adam West is probably turning over in his grave ready to kill me for saying that. But anyway, that's our episode. Got anything you want to say, Paul, before we get going?
Yeah, you guys, it's Super Bowl weekend. I know a lot of people are having parties. I know a lot of people don't care about sports, but most people still go to a party. Be safe, drink responsibly, encourage your friends, take an Uber, make them take an Uber yourself, Try to be careful because it's awful hearing about all the wrecks that happen and things like that. And I don't want anyone hurt. So I encourage you to, get an Uber, get a Lyft, reach out to people. If you can't afford one, I'm sure one of your friends is more than happy to either pick you up or help you out. So just be careful, but enjoy the Super Bowl. Hopefully we get some awesome commercials. I really don't care who wins. I know who I kind of don't want to win, but hey, have fun, cheer for your team. Don't fear your team. Eat some wings, have a good time. Be safe though, please.
Love it. I'm going to add to that, go Eagles, because my son's an Eagles fan. So just go for that. But yeah, great advice. Definitely listen to the man. Be safe. I just want to say thank you guys again for all your help with Cast for a Cause, everybody who watches and listens to the show and really interacts, and it's a good time. Remember, go over to our Patreon, follow us there. You can either follow us or you can support. If you donate, it goes back into paying for the stuff and putting on the best shows that we can. So thank you guys again so much. Head on over there. Oh, we're also doing a giveaway. I should probably talk about it. We're doing a giveaway at all patrons. Free or paid tiers are entered. I will spin the wheel on February 28th, and they will win this popcorn bucket from Beetlejuice, which you can see closer pictures up on our Patreon. So let's link down below. Make sure you go check that out. Remember to follow us. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Letterboxd. We're all over we're not all over the place, but we're in a few different areas. Make sure to subscribe, though. That's the biggest thing. We really, truly appreciate that. Hit like, hit comment. And just let us know what you think. Thank you guys so much. I'm Nick Manhattan. This is the Scene Snobs channel. This is producer Paul. We are doing the Scene Snobs podcast. We do it on Tuesdays every week, so make sure to check it out. Next week, we're doing power ballads for our mixtape. We're going to have a really good time with that. So join in for that. And until next time, remember to take care of yourselves because that's so important. Be kind and stay classy, and I will talk to you guys so soon. Bye.